guys, we are back with another one. DJ Khaled, another one, right? At the time of this recording, it is Saturday, April 6th, 12:43 a.m. Last night was Friday, the 5th, and a lot of shit happened. We're gonna go off the rip and start diving right into this. So there was obviously every year with WrestleMania, there's always just so much to consume, right? So much shit out there to consume and take in and whatever. This year's no different. As much as I would love to do a deep dive into the Supercard of Honor and talk about Johnny TV versus Dalton Castle, it kind of bums me out to say this, but everything that's happening outside of WrestleMania or WWE is not on my interest list until WrestleMania is over with. Yesterday, for me it's still my Friday because I haven't went to sleep yet, even though it's technically Saturday. If I counted it as Saturday, I would be it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna dive into all that. So there was a lot of content to consume yesterday, which I'm currently in the middle of right now. I paused it so I could kind of get a clear mindset, and I not so much that I get a clear mindset too, but I want to listen to what's happening on the Pat McAfee show. They did a live episode of the Pat McAfee show at WWE World in Philadelphia. Triple H came on, Cody Rhodes is out right now and they're talking. It's kind of funny because Pat and his stooges are doing the one, representing the bloodline and acknowledging the tribal chief and what have you, and Cody Rhodes is there, and it's it's all part of the show, it's all get people hyped up and amped up and all that shit, right? But there's also going to be some more people that come on the show. We're going to see where all that goes. The first, I'm a little overwhelmed, to be honest with you. Knowing that there's so much stuff coming out today, I say today, speaking in the past tense, I knew so much was coming out. I knew they were going to do that Pat McAfee show. So that's a 3-hour program. That's 3 hours of content right there. Impulsive. I know a lot of people hate Logan Paul for whatever reason. And to be fair, I used to not care for the kid either. And then I realized he's a draw. He's a commodity. He's smart. He's a lot of things that a lot of people are not. And I've got so much respect for Logan Paul and what he's been able to accomplish in the WWE already. I mean, he's just barely scraped the surface. One day I'm gonna have a match with him. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know anything else more than we're gonna share the ring together one day, and it's gonna be a fucking magical moment. He had Triple H on Impulsive, and it was a really good listen. Obviously, if you're not a fan of WWE, it wouldn't really make sense for you to watch the one he did with Triple H. But if you are, go listen to that shit. If you don't want to watch it, just listen to it. They talk about the new Netflix deal. We're all going to Netflix and just getting hearing Triple H talk about things that And just hearing them talk and just like hearing them two have that conversation, it was great. And Logan's such a professional, man. I know like in promos and stuff, I've like talked trash on him and whatever, but that's part of the business. You gotta, you know, I try not to break kayfabe too much, but I also want to give flowers where they're due, man, because he's definitely killing it. So back to that, and then on top of that, it was the WrestleMania kickoff show where Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, they talk about, have a couple people come out and, you know, just kind of run down. It's like another hour. So that's 5 hours of content right there between the Pat McAfee show, Impulsive, and the fucking kickoff show. That's 5 hours of content. That's crazy, and that's not even touching the surface of the weekend. I still need to watch SmackDown. That's 2 hours. I need to watch the Hall of Fame. That's probably 2 hours at least. And to be fair, I'm gonna kind of skim through it. But when Paul Heyman comes out and he accepts his thing and he gets inducted, I'm all ears. I love Paul Heyman, Paulie Dangerously, like the impact he had on like professional wrestling. The shit he did like in ECW all those years ago is still on the forefront of so many people's mind, especially in Philly, because the Philly crowd, you know, the ECW arena was in Philly, so yeah, like those fans are passionate and they love it, and and I love passion. That shit's great. But what we're about to do? Okay, right now I'm gonna go over the match card for night one. Actually, let's do NXT first. Okay. So at noon starts stand and deliver. I'm gonna run down the matches on the card and kind of give you just kind of my opinion. Maybe those opinions turn to predictions, or maybe not predictions per se, but things maybe I would like to see happen on the show. Alright, so we're gonna run it down. We've got Joe Gacy versus Shawn Spears. Thea Hale, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley versus JC Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dame in a 6-woman tag. To be honest with you, we're not going to really talk about that very much. We have the NXT Tag Team Championship the NXT... Yeah, sorry, I read that wrong. Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier for the NXT tag titles. We have a NXT North American Championship. It's a triple threat. It's Oba Femi versus Dijak versus Josh Briggs. We have a women's championship match. Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. We have Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes. And Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo for the NXT title. Okay, so let's first get in. We're going to start with the Gacy and Spears match. So, Joe Gacy and Shawn Spears is going to be a barn burner. Hopefully they give him a stipulation, like a no DQ or something like that, because they've been going at it for weeks and like just getting really intense in the rivalry. The fact that he he's back as Sean Spears and not Ty Dillinger, dude. That alone just magnifies, like, we're in a different era of professional wrestling right now. Like, if Vince was still at the helm, the name Sean Spears would not be on TV. I promise you that. Maybe Ty Dillinger might come back under the NXT banner as Ty Dillinger. No, dude, it's Sean Spears. The Sean Spears. Him and Gacy, they're different, like, styles in the ring, and their personalities is going to clash well. That might be, like, one of the matches, like, to keep your eye on, for sure. The 6-woman tag, the story behind that is just like Thea. Let me back up, because I said this was like my predictions and stuff as well. So I think Sean Spears goes over Joe Gacy, and if they don't add a stipulation, if it doesn't end up being like a no DQ match or something like that, Sean might. What was I gonna say? If it doesn't have a stipulation, I could see Joe Gacy winning by disqualification, by like Sean smacking him with a chair, and then by default he loses, right? So the match with Thea Hale, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley, I feel like that 6-woman tag is gonna be a showcase for Thea Hale. They've been really focusing on her a lot lately with like the Chase U thing, and she's like kind of not sure if she's like where she belongs, where she fits in. That's going to be a showcase to really kind of solidify what they've got going with Thea. And sometimes predictability is good. The match is going to be phenomenal. Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's one of my favorites. They're gonna smash Axiom and Nathan Frazier. There's nothing in me that even considers the championships changing hands at all, even kind of. It's a bummer that like, it's not so much a bad thing, because that's one of the few matches that are predictable on the entire card. So like, out of everything else, well, I'm such a like NXT person that like I can kind of see where they're going a lot of times, and that tag team title match, it's going to be a good showcase for Frazier and Axiom. It's going to be a mesh of like power and like speed. Like those Axiom and Frazier, super. I don't even know if like the cruiserweight division is still a thing. Like they're essentially cruiserweights. They fly around, they jump, they kill it. Super great talent, but nothing makes me think that Breaker and Corbin are going to lose the belts. So we'll move forward to the NXT North American Championship. Obafemi, Dijak, and Josh Briggs. So this could go one of two directions, in my opinion. Obafemi, he's great, he's powerful, he's been unstoppable. Dijak has been doing some really good work too. So my prediction on that one is I have a feeling Obi's going to win, but they're really going to make Dijak look really good in the process. And a lot of you are probably like, oh, what about Briggs? What about Briggs? I hate to say it, man. I really do. But Briggs is an afterthought in this match. He's, nobody really expects him to win. I don't want to say nobody wants him to, because I'm sure somebody does, right? My take is I think Femi is going to keep the belt because he hasn't really had it very long. And it could be argued that Dijak, I don't know, because every time Dijak's had like a title match, he comes up short. So maybe this is his chance of redemption. Maybe Dijak takes the North American title from Obi. But I'm more thinking about, I don't know. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. So we have the NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. This match is predictable too. Roxanne's gonna get the belt back that she like essentially never lost, if I remember correctly. And if I don't and I'm wrong, someone will fucking correct me in the comments, which whatever it is, what it is. But if I remember correctly, Roxanne had to vacate the title because she got injured and couldn't defend it. So she technically never lost it. So this is gonna be a like grand stage for her to like reclaim what she never lost. Ilya Dragunov and Tony D'Angelo, it's gonna be such a good match, but the Mad Dragon is gonna put the Dawn away. The only way I see that not happening is outside interference on Tony's behalf, that someone fucks over the Dragon and then Tony wins like that. But then where do you go? Like, I don't see, and I don't want to say like, because that sounds stupid from me, because I'm not in the business to be like, oh, he's not a main event guy. That's such a stupid thing to say, because that's not true. Like, he definitely, Tony D, like, he gets the crowd behind him. He's got a good character. I mean, the fans love him. Dude, the Orlando crowd loves Tony D, man. So, but I just feel like this is this is more about Dragunov's legacy than it is D'Angelo's crowning moment. And that's not to say that D'Angelo doesn't get another shot, or maybe he wins the big one down the line. But tonight, it's technically tonight now. Actually, here in a few hours, it's in like 10 hours from the time we're filming this video right now. Ilya Dragunov's gonna, Tony D and Ilya are gonna have a phenomenal match, but Dragunov is gonna walk away with the NXT championship. And Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes. That's gonna be fucking sick. It's gonna be phenomenal, dude. These, like, even a couple months ago when you started to see the rifts in the team, you're like, man, no, don't do it, man, don't do it. Like, we love these guys. Like the Trick and Mello gang, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody loved that shit. But now, like, Trick has got a chance to, like, show the world that he's not just a sidekick like a lot of people are trying to say he is. I personally don't believe that he's, like, just a sidekick. I think I could even go as far as to say that I don't think Mello would have been in the position he was in without Trick by his side. So they just mesh so well. As far as who's gonna take it, who's gonna walk away with the dub, it's gotta be Trick. It's got to be Trick, man. Because there's nothing left for Carmelo to prove, other than, yeah, like, I can beat my sidekick. You know, that's probably what he's thinking, whatever. This needs to be a crowning achievement for Trick Williams. He needs to put Hayes down definitively, exponentially, undisputedly, whatever fucking adage you want to, whatever word you want to put there. Undisputed, whatever. Trick needs to solidify himself as a top star by taking out Mello. He puts Mello down. He's back in the top star era where he should be anyway. As a team, Trick Mellow Gang dominated NXT with Hayes capturing the North American title twice and the NXT Championship once, solidifying themselves as the most dominant duo in the locker room. As Hayes' stars shine bright, Williams started to become a star on his own, causing some jealousy in his partner. Williams lost his eventual NXT title match against Dragunov at Vengeance Day. So the Mad Dragon was embroiled in a long-standing rivalry with both Carmelo and Trick, but the former friends cost each other the top prize, leaving an opening for the Dawn to step in and become the number one contender at Roadblock. The family even abducted Dragunov, put him in the trunk of their car, and took him to the bridge, but it was only for D'Angelo to proclaim his admiration for the champion. With Stax, Adriano Rizzo, and his new consigliere, Luca Crucifino, can Tony D'Angelo be the man to defeat the Mad Dragon? I don't think so. Alright, let's see. So now we're gonna go. Oh god, it's trying to show SmackDown results. I don't want to watch that yet. No. Okay. So now we're gonna go. Now we're gonna talk about night one of WrestleMania tonight. We've got Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control. The six-pack ladder match for the Tag Team Championships. Balor and Priest, DIY, The Awesome Truth, The New Day, Theory and Grayson, and the New Catch Republic. Jimmy versus Jey Uso. We have the Intercontinental title match between Gunther and Sami Zayn. We have the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match with Rhea versus Becky. And obviously the tag match. Seth and Roman. Seth and Cody versus Rock and Roman. Jesus. So we're going to go back with Mysterio and Dragon Lee. That match. Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Mysterio and Escobar. That match is going to be a banger. I'm going to tell you right now. 4 cruiserweights, luchadors. We'll say luchadors. They'll get in the ring. They're going to kill it. Escobar and Mysterio, Escobar and Dominic, I think are going to go over. Just to kind of set the tone for the Judgment Day, kind of getting their flowers all tonight. I said this earlier too. I kind of talked a little bit about this in a different video on a different platform. But the 6-woman tag with Jade Cargill, Naomi Belair versus Damage Control. I don't even really need to think about that. It's so obvious what direction they're going to go in that match. Jade Cargill is going to be the one. Maybe I'm being too, I don't know. I think, what I should say is I think, because I don't know for sure. I really don't know for sure. Jade Cargill is going to be the one to put Asuka down. And I say Asuka particularly because Asuka is the biggest star in Damage Control in my eyes. Hey man, what's going on, big dog? I'm talking about WrestleMania. I'm talking about actually this whole weekend. NXT Stand and Deliver was the first thing we were talking about, which is going to be going live in 10 hours at noon. That's going to be a thing. It's going to be so incredible, man. I'm so stoked. Even though most of it is predictable on the NXT side. But the crowning achievement the crowning moment, I think, for Jade is gonna be where she pins Asuka clean in the ring. And the reason I say Asuka is because like that showdown could go. Dude, just thinking about like Jade and Asuka one-on-one is it's blowing my mind. So the 6-pack ladder match, that's gonna be a wild ride. It's gonna be a wild ladder match. 12 people fighting over the belts. The short version of this is I think Judgment Day Judgment Day retains. The only reason I could see them not winning is if they have a team get hurt and then they have a replacement team, like an unannounced. Remember back at WrestleMania 33 when, was it 33? Holy fuck, that was a long time ago. 7 years. The Hardys came back in a tag team ladder match under kind of similar situation. I think it was like a 4-team ladder match, but the 4th team wasn't announced until the Hardys walked out and became the 4th team, right? So if that happens again, like if the Hardys were to come back and like repeat WrestleMania 33, that would be the only really like sense of me seeing, because the only other team that I could really see like with the tag belts is DIY. Gargano and Ciampa, they fucking kill it always, but it's so obscure because like there's so many different directions that like, so if the Judgment Day loses the tag team title match, Damian Priest still has an opportunity to walk out of WrestleMania with championship gold, Mr. Money in the Bank, Senior Money in the Bank. He could cash in on Seth or Roman on Saturday, or like he could be so mad that he lost the tag titles, and he fucking cashes in like on Cody, on Seth or Roman on Saturday because they beat the shit out of each other, you know, in the tag match. It'd be a good opportunity. Or he could wait till they're like double beat down, night 2, sneak in the door, Cody Rhodes. I don't want to jump the gun really, but it all kind of ties together with so if Cody wins, he gets his big moment, and then the biggest heel in the business can come just rip that shit away from him. What's the deal, dog? You're starting to get on my nerves doing this, coming in and out, coming in and out, coming in and out. Just be somewhere, please. Just be somewhere. Okay. Come here. Luca, come up here. Get up here. See, that's all. Is that all that Husky wanted? Was some space? Okay. Anyway, I'm skipping too far ahead. Like the ladder match is just like making me think of like. Also, even they could win. Judgment Day could win the tag team titles. I mean, they're already the champions, but retain the tag team titles, and Priest could still walk out World Heavyweight Champion. Okay, then we got Jimmy and Jay. That shit is going to go bananas. Like, I've been a huge fan of the Usos since like 2013, 14. When they first came out and they were doing like they had the weird little paint and they were doing the like little Samoan dance, and I was like, it felt too forced. Like, it just felt weird for me. I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't a huge fan. But over the years, man, like, they became one of my favorite tag teams. And the fact that this situation has only happened 2 other times at WrestleMania, the like real life, like no gimmick, like no real life brothers face each other at WrestleMania. Tonight, Saturday, with Jimmy and Jay, it'll be the 3rd time in history. It was Owen and Brett, Matt and Jeff, and Jimmy and Jay. And that shit is going to fucking go bananas. I think I want to see Jay win, because he's like the good guy right now, you know, right? He's the one, main event Jey Uso, he's the one. I'm trying to think about it a little bit. Jimmy is gonna have Solo, and maybe I bet Solo's gonna be like ringside for the match, right? So I kind of think Jimmy might take it, like, just to just to really give it to the crowd, like stick it to the crowd. This is gonna be a spoiler. Sami Zayn's not gonna walk away with the Intercontinental title on Saturday. The reason I believe that is because as of this video posted today, the Saturday, Gunther is 666 days as champion. So for them to take the belt off of him on that particular day would be very superstitious. A lot of people would be really weirded out about the fact that, like, they see the 666 a lot, would be like constantly referenced, like, oh, he was 666 days as champion. I personally don't think they're gonna end it on that day, because of maybe there's more to it than that, obviously, because I feel like Gunther still has a story to tell too with the belt. And that's why I'm so, like, super stoked for this weekend, like this Mania, because usually, like, the last, I don't want to say something that's false, but like out of like most of the WrestleManias I've watched, which I've at this point seen them all, right? But as I'm watching them, like, fresh, like each year they're new and fresh and stuff, and there's matches on there that I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a good match, but this is gonna be the finish. Like, so and so is gonna go over so and so, and that's gonna be what it was. And then I was really able to like be like a lot. When it's super predictable, it gets kind of like bummy to watch, and the fact that, like, it's like NXT is kind of predictable, and that's really it, and that's a separate thing from like Raw and SmackDown or whatever. I don't know, man. It's the fact that this year it's not really that predictable, in the sense of, like, there's so many, all these matches out of, like, what, 13, 14 matches, there's not one that I can really, okay, that was a lie. I could realistically see any of the matches going either direction and then seeing where they could go from either direction. But this year there's so much like unpredictability around it. It's just like, well, this could happen, but this could also happen, but this could happen, but this could happen, but this could happen. And it's like, but what if none of that happens and something even crazier happens? And that's all possible. So we're going to jump into night 2. So we've got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament in a Philadelphia street fight. We'll get back to that. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Logan Paul versus Orton and Kevin Owens in a triple threat. Io Sky and Bayley for the Women's Championship. And then the two biggest matches, Cody Rhodes and Roman first, and then for the undisputed title. And by the time we get to there, so whatever happens on Saturday, whatever happens tonight on WrestleMania Night 1, it could change my predictions, my outlook, my thoughts on what's going to happen on Night 2. So if I could see the tag team match going either direction with Seth and Cody versus Roman and Rock, I could see Cody losing that match on Saturday to set up Bloodline rules on Sunday for him to win on Sunday to make it a bigger deal when he overcomes all the odds. On the same hand, watching like hell, even The Rock could like turn on Roman, or they give the fans this false sense of like whatever, like Cody wins Saturday night, yeah, he's gonna win tomorrow, and then on Sunday night he gets smashed. It's so exciting to think about because there's literally so many directions. And this is the first time in a long time that I've really felt genuinely like stoked and like I was saying earlier, like there's gonna be so many people pissed about whatever happens. Man. You know, I didn't really talk about that match very much, did I? Was that on night 1 or night 2? Oh yeah, night 2. I don't know, man. I don't want to say I hope he loses because like I don't know. Like, has Randy... I need to see something real quick, actually, before I make that prediction, because... Wait, what was I finna look? Has Randy Orton been U.S. champ? Oh, he has been the United States champion. Oh, in 2018. Okay. I was thinking for some reason that he hasn't won the U.S. title, and then like so I would be like, well, I could see Orton taking it to get like the first. This is gonna be a bummer for a lot of people, but Logan Paul's not dropping the U.S. belt on Sunday. What I personally think is going to happen is Owens and Orton are going to try to like gang up on Logan Paul, and then there's going to be a point where like Owens and Orton like turn on each other and they start going at it, and then Logan's going to capitalize on one of their mistakes. He's going to keep being the U.S. champion. I personally am cool with that because I'm a pretty big fan of Logan Paul now, and like I said before, like I used to not be, but like just knowing like the drive he has and like the respect he has for the business, and like he gets it, dude. Like so many people come in to wrestling and they don't fucking get it, and it irks me to see people get spotlight and TV time that like just don't care. Like you can tell they don't care, they don't want to be there. What the fuck ever. Like Logan, like I have to give him his flowers, man. He is phenomenal, and he's only had a handful of matches, and he's like better than a lot of people that have been doing it for a long time. So I get it, like I definitely get it, but I don't think, like, I think what's gonna happen is Logan's gonna like go over Kevin Owens. He's gonna pin Kevin Owens, and that's gonna set up a match for SummerSlam to where Kevin Owens beats Paul and takes the United States belt, because then that way Logan can have like a longer reign as champion, and like I don't know, so many different directions it can go. So LA Knight and AJ Styles, that's gonna be a really good match. I don't care like who wins. I love LA Knight, I love AJ Styles. They're both gonna bring the energy. It's gonna be a killer match. Phenomenal, no pun intended. I really wanted to use the word phenomenal because like I know it's gonna be that, but like oh. So the street fight, the Philly street fight, the New Testament versus essentially the new Hurt Business. I think Bobby needs to be the one to get the pinfall, to kind of solidify his like position as like, cause he's trying, like, it looks like he's trying to come back to the title scene, like to the main event. Not necessarily. It's just essentially a street fight. A lot of times, like in different like, it depends on the city they're in. So like, it'll be like, oh, like it might be a Cincinnati street fight. It might be, if they can make it sound good, like a Philadelphia street fight, like it's essentially just like plug in the city they're in. They're like, oh, we're in Philly for WrestleMania, so it's a Philly street fight, meaning that they can like end up in the streets of Philly or whatever. But Bobby Lashley, I think, needs the win. I think he needs it more than anybody else. Like Cross got his new, like the two guys with him, Akam and Razor, the Final Testament. They're a good team, but like Bobby, I think Bobby should go over. I definitely do. We've got the women's championship match, Io Sky and Bayley. Yeah, it'd be funny. Man, it'd be worth watching if you have Peacock. It'd be on there. I'm trying to just like think. I'm so stoked right now, and I'm like, it's weird. Like it's a combination of like stoked and I'm already exhausted from like how much this weekend is gonna take out of me of like just doing all of this. Okay, so back the women's championship, Io Sky and Bayley. I want to see Bayley win. I'd like her to get that crowning moment. If Damage Control shows up, if they pop up, if they're involved at all, Io Sky is going to retain. And that's just going to be the way it is. Rollins and McIntyre. Now, this is kind of where my, like, booking mind just goes all over the place, because it's like, fuck, dude, I could have, like, if I were booking the match, I would have McIntyre go over Rollins, so he has his little moment. But because he's such an arrogant asshole lately, like, I would want that moment sucked away from him. So Senior Money in the Bank would cash in on McIntyre as soon as he wins. That would be the way I would book that match. Because, like, Drew still gets his win, but then he gets it taken all away again. And then it's like, and then he'll be feuding with, like, the Judgment Day. And that would bring a series of good matches. Like, he could go through, you know, Dom and JD and Finn and maybe even Rhea. Maybe fight Rhea. And then he gets his one-on-one with Priest. And that way, and we can push this off to, like, Clash at the Castle if they do that event again. We can, like, have McIntyre get his moment in front of his crowd and give Priest his moment and let him have a little decent run with the belt before Drew ultimately becomes the third world heavyweight champion. I say the third, but it, like, from this rendition of the new world heavyweight championship that they did. And then the big one, Cody and Roman. Man, I don't even want to, like, think about, like, predicting this one until I see tonight's tag team match, because the way my fucking brain is going is, like, it could be this, like, it's like a web of direction that they could go, and it blows my mind. Because they could have, like, The Rock turn on Roman and have him help Cody win. And it could be the same scenario as, like, instead of, maybe he didn't want to cash in on Drew McIntyre, maybe cash in on Cody. And he would get the big, like, the crowd would boo him out of the building if Cody Rhodes won the match. He finally gets it. He finishes his story, right? Oh, he got the belt. And then here comes Mr. Money in the Bank. Boom. Senior Money in the Bank. Cashes in on Cody Rhodes. Boom. And I don't know if, like, that's what I want to see or whatever, but, like, it would make for compelling TV. Also, I'm a huge fan of Cody, but I want to see him lose because, and this is kind of, that's kind of fucked up, actually, because of his fan base. Like, I want to see, like, the fans get so, like, butthurt and, like, like, that emotion and that passion. I love that shit. But, like, just the world would explode. Like, everybody's happy. Oh, Cody, yeah, you won. Yeah. And then that music hits for Damian Priest. And then that feeling of, that high, that euphoric feeling of, like, yes, he got it, he did it, yes. You're feeling that, and that shit is sucked dry out of the arena the second his music hits, and then they feel it. They feel like that happiness just fade. And then, but see, if Cody wins, it doesn't make sense to give Roman a rematch because he had the belt for so long, but also because, like, we know he would, like, if they're gonna go through with this thing with Roman, he doesn't need to lose tomorrow night. He doesn't need to lose Sunday night. Like, if he loses on Saturday, that's fine, but on Sunday he can't lose. Like, Roman needs to, and I'm trying to think of this as a fan, as a booker, as, like, a long-term investment. Dude, if Roman wins, they can still keep that story going with the bloodline and he's running the fucking 10,000 days as champion, whatever the fuck it ends up being, how many ever days. We can add to that, and at the same time, there's so much more we can do. We can get Solo versus Roman. Maybe we get Rock versus Roman. It's our, you know what I mean? And I'm one of those people that, like, of course I love Cody Rhodes, but when they're like, we saw that match last year, he didn't do it, like, it didn't happen, it sucks, it's unfortunate. And then we had a chance to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Like, it would have been fucking phenomenal. I can't lie. Like, as a fan of the business and the product, it would have been great. It would have been awesome to see that match, like to feel that energy in the arena of like, lay down, lay, Luca, lay down. This dog is stressing me out. And I feel like it's been about an hour. I've been like just rambling on about this, and at the same time, I don't really feel like I've really even kind of covered a fraction of it, man, because there's still so much to talk about. So my next video, I think, is going to be like a review of SmackDown, and kind of once I watch SmackDown, I think I might have a little more insight of like what I think might happen a little more. But then again, man, like they're swerving left and right, and like I don't care. Like, to be honest with you, like I'm not one of those fans that's gonna be like crying and making a scene if my guy doesn't win. It's gonna be a bummer, but like if it makes for compelling, great like if it makes for fucking great TV, then it makes great TV, and that's all that matters. Okay, if I open this door, you're not coming back in here tonight. And maybe the supercard of honor. April 5th. Okay, so that already happened. So let's talk about that. So I misspoke. I said like, oh, it's kind of stupid to have the Ring of Honor thing, like the same area that WWE is doing. Fucking WrestleMania. Okay. So the matches. I'm just going to read what the Bleacher Report says. The first match on 0 Hour featured Josh Woods, Tony Nese, and Arya Daivari taking on Tony Deppen, Rhett Titus, and Adam Priest. I don't know who these guys are. I know Tony Nese and Arya Daivari. The premier athletes, Tony Nese was the winner. The Beast, Mortos, took on Blake Christian in the second match of the night. Mortos, okay, Taurus. I remember him. Okay, so he like used to come out. I think he still does, but had like the fucking. He looked like a fucking Taurus, like the damn animal thing. He had the fucking gimmick real good. So he defeated Blake Christian. And then we have Angelico and Serpentico versus Cole Carter and Griff Garrison. It literally says, this was a decent but forgettable bout. Angelico stood out the most in terms of in-ring skill, but all four men did some solid work. Maria was ejected when she brought a chair in the ring, but she distracted Angelico on the way out. Garrison and Carter stole Serpentico's mask again and rolled him up for the win. The fourth and final bout on 0. Okay, this is the pre-show I was like, damn, dude, this fucking card is bunk. It's because it's the opening show. Okay. Wait, what? May dressed like Tony Storm, take on Stardom's Kogo. Okay, interesting. Okay, so now we're gonna start. So Kyle Fletcher is the World Television Champion in Ring of Honor, as of me reading this right now. And he retained his title over Lee Johnson in the opening match of Supercard of Honor. Okay. These have to be Stardom girls. Oh yeah, they are. Okay. I was thinking, I'm like, these, I don't know none of these girls. Maya Sierra, Mina Shirakawa, and Micah versus Tam Nakano, AZM, and Saya Kamatani. And all 6 of those ladies are from the women's promotion in Japan, Stardom. So, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the Undisputed Kingdom versus the Infantry for the tag titles. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are the Ring of Honor champions, are the Ring of Honor tag champions, and they win a yeah, okay, I figured that. Queen Eminita versus Billy Starks, the women's TV title. The finals of the tournament to crown the... Okay. I was a little behind. I was like, when did that happen? Okay. So Billy Starks won the women's TV title. Eminata. That's a weird thing to say. Okay, the Bang Bang Gang open contract, Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Championships. So, oh shit, go back. Jay White, Austin and Colton Gunn. Austin and Colton Gunn are the son of Billy Gunn, one of the greatest tag team wrestlers ever. And it was Lance Archer, Alex Zane, and Minoru Suzuki came out for the open contract. Okay, then we have Dalton Castle versus Johnny TV. And a lot of you guys may know Johnny TV as like John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, Johnny fucking Impact. Like he's Johnny whatever wrestling company he's in at the time. Johnny Underground, I think he was when he was in Lucha Underground. Dalton Castle picked up the win over Johnny right there. Okay, we have Athena versus Hikaru Shida for the women's title, which that was probably a pretty good match. Yeah, it said it was an A- rating is what it got. It said, yeah, this slowly turned into one of the best matches on the show. Yeah, that's no surprise. Athena's been killing it since she came to Ring of Honor. And then Eddie Kingston versus Mark Briscoe for the world title. What? Who was the champion? Okay. So I guess Eddie Kingston was the Ring of Honor champion. And Mark Briscoe defeated him. He became the... Oh, nice. That's a good story. So his brother Jay used to be the Ring of Honor champion. He passed. But okay. Okay, so the Supercard of Honor has been discussed. We talked about that. So now at this point, oh shit, GCW Bloodsport. We're gonna talk about that too real quick. So, for his name was Johnny Bloodsport in a match against Josh Barnett. That's funny. Nick Nemeth versus Mike Bailey. I bet that was a good match. Damn, Charlie Dempsey was in GCW too. That's pretty cool. He got a win. Some of these people I've never heard of, so not really. Minoru Suzuki versus Royce Isaacs. I bet that was a good one. Shayna Baszler versus Masha Slamovich with Joey Stark. Wait, what? Wait a second. Okay, so Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 10. That was its own thing, but it was presented by GCW. Okay. Oh, sick. So Shayna is still part of Raw and stuff. Okay. Because I was really confused. Like, when did that happen? Because Shayna was just on Raw the other day. I don't think it was for the title. Marina Shafir versus Lindsay Snow. So we're gonna probably actually like skim through that right now. Man, when I went to that GCW show last year, I had so much fun. It's not cooperating. Fuck, dude. Alright, so this is probably gonna be where we wrap it up. What the fuck? That was not what I wanted to see. It's not fucking playing. Dude, it's always something. Alright, fuck it. We're gonna try to watch SmackDown. The fuck is the deal? Fuck. I think we might be about to watch. I don't know. This is probably actually about it because my shit's acting up. It's annoying. Okay. Well, as we get more information, we will return with another prediction video, another thing. We're going to talk about SmackDown, talk about the Hall of Fame. I can't believe I let my fucking hair be like that on the video the whole time. Sticking out the whole time. I just want to squeeze my throat until I stop breathing sometimes. Just because I'm so fucking stupid sometimes. I just want to fucking choke myself out. I'm not going to do that. But we're going to watch SmackDown. Try to finish this Pat McAfee show episode. And see where all that goes.